Hey, hello, friends. It's Monday night. That means it's time for our continuing 10-year-long Simpsons bracket, the Bartol Royale. We have to figure out which episode is the best episode from the first 23 seasons of The Simpsons. 508 episodes. So 507 weeks, I think that comes out to. We got Chad tonight, as always, and Dan Connell joining us tonight for the first time for our Simpsons bracket streams. How are you doing tonight, guys? And
doing well.
So tonight we're talking.
I have to ask about the seeding of these two episodes. Why were these two episodes against each other?
So when I did the seeding for this whole tournament, right, all 508 episodes, I made a very long 508 item Google survey that said, hey, if you I want you to rate these every episode from 1 to 5. And you have to rate all of them. Otherwise, people would only rate like the first 10 seasons and then give up. Because there would still be 350 episodes to rate. So you'd have to be a total psycho with a ton of free time to do this. So I did it. And then one other guy on the Simpsons Discord did it. So all scores are based off of the two of us. And I hadn't seen like half of them. So it's just based off of the title for a lot of them. I did see these two, though. But I was just going off of memory of if I thought I liked them or not. And I generally score things higher just if I remembered them more than.
So that's how it was seeded, was sort of the ones on the same. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
I was in favor of not doing seeding and just to put things up in chronological order. But Dave needed a project to do.
Yeah,
and also makes sense in order to preserve, which seasons are stronger overall instead of making each season eat itself.
Right.
I think that's only fair to go cross seasons. It just felt very random, and I was curious about it.
And I wanted to, put it out to people and try to get, some little bit of kind of, some advertising a little bit for it. Like, hey, this is a thing that I'm going to be doing. But I got so wrapped up in trying to get people to do the survey that I didn't do a great job of advertising when the stream was and all that kind of stuff.
Well, when you rate 500 and something episodes in a row in a Google Doc, half based on memory, you're going to come up with some energy gaps.
Yeah. But the seeding for these, Hungry Homer was number 128. So it's about a third of the way through, right? A quarter of the way through. And then Dumbbell Indemnity was number 385. So it's about 250 spots lower on the ranking.
And I would keep it there. I don't think it's. I mean, we can debate which one's better, but I think it's pretty obvious from watching those two back to back. The Hungry Homer is a more iconic and funnier episode overall.
It's true, but they're not. Both of them are great episodes. Yeah,
and one has a happier ending, I would say.
It's true. Yeah.
It
saves the town's team that we don't see too many times after this.
But we see Duffman way more often after that episode, which I'm grateful for. Or Sid, a.k.a. Sid. Is he ever called Sid again? Because I really love that little side. Yeah. Can it, Sid? Shut it, Howard.
Yeah. Anytime he drops character, it's so good. Love it. Yeah, let's get into it. I didn't write up the captions here. So, Dan, were you a big Simpsons fan growing up? Or were you one of those kids that wasn't allowed to watch Simpsons?
I was Simpsons positive. All right. My family watched Simpsons on a regular basis. This episode came out in 1998, so I'd seen clips in this one, but I don't think I'd ever seen this one in full. Versus Blockoland, I have memories unlocked of me watching it on TV as it was going on. But I haven't seen every episode, and I stopped watching in the a couple seasons before the movie came out. So I think that's pretty standard with most casual watchers. So I'm a very casual Simpsons fan, but everything that I see clip-wise, I'm like, oh yeah, Simpsons great. Simpsons fantastic. Big fan of the memes, big fan of the clips, but I didn't watch them all. So does that make me a big fan? No. But I am a fan of Simpsons, even though I may not be a super fan.
I think just by dint of when you jumped off the Simpsons train, you're probably a bigger Simpsons fan than I am.
Well, you dropped off earlier than the mid 2000s.
No, I think I dropped off around 2000.
Oh wow! Okay, Yeah, but that's about the time that I started forming memories.
Because The Simpsons started when I was like, I think 7 years old.
Right.
Okay.
I think I was like 5. You're about 2 years older
And,
than me.
and I was 7 when he stopped watching, so
Right.
it all lines up here.
Timeline works out.
Yeah. 7's a lucky or an unlucky number with The Simpsons.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like when you're in school and you're doing like regular kind of scheduled things like every night, you have a certain TV show that you're watching every night, like having The Simpsons on Sundays, that works up through high school, and then you're kind of done with it after that. I think it's a good time to drop off with The Simpsons.
By the time DVR took over, I think we stopped watching Simpsons. I think that's the correlation there, I think. When did DVR start taking over? It would have been around like 2005-ish, 2004-ish.
Yeah, right around the time I had moved out of my parents' house. I don't think we had one when I was growing up. I only experienced it, when coming home from.
You know what word I haven't heard in years? I haven't heard the word TiVo in years. TiVo really dropped off, didn't they? They really fell out of.
Yeah, it had a long tail though, because it existed, and we all used that.
Yeah, it was the go-to name for non-TiVo branded DVR.
Right,
yeah,
for a long time, until someone eventually went, "What does TiVo mean?" And we're like, "Oh, okay, I need to have my uncle explain to you what TiVo was."
Yeah, and so now if you explain TiVo to younger generations, they'll look at you like you're explaining Betamax to people like me.
Yeah, that's true.
I think it was when cable companies started giving you boxes that had the built-in DVR,
right?
And you didn't have to go out and seek your own.
Yeah,
but we still called it TiVo though. We still called it TiVo-ing, right? Or TiVo as like kind of like the
Netflix
band, yeah, exactly. Yes,
right.
the go-to brand name that encapsulates the whole medium.
Yeah, but I think when people were experiencing DVR without having to deal with TiVo, and TiVo was also dead at that point, so it's like eventually, once everyone who had a TiVo died, then it was pretty easy to forget about it.
And then Hulu premiered. It was all over.
Yeah.
So have either been to Legoland before?
No, have you?
I have been to Legoland, I'm happy to say. It's a lot more pleasant experience than Blockoland.
Like the wheels on everything isn't blocks, it's not made of hard plastic.
That was a good gag. So many good gags with Blockoland. But I went around 2006, I believe, is when I went. I was still a impressionable young age. Old enough to appreciate it, but a little bit too old for it.
Yeah, I was wondering how much because the joke in the episode is when they see the Blockoland ad, Bart and Lisa are both meh, but then Maggie was really into it. It's like, oh, I guess this is a park for babies. Is what the joke is.
That's right. That's a good gag as well.
Yeah. I don't know.
How about that stark, pretty bold for a 1998 episode to have a police beating gag?
Yeah,
gotta say that was a little jarring to cut to. They go driving from Blockoland and come across the man being, I think honestly a clear Rodney King kind of reference. I don't think there's any other way to interpret that. Right?
Or at least just generic police brutality. I don't know. But it was definitely, it was a different time. We just made fun of that.
I think it was staged to look like to reference Rodney King.
Okay.
Like in terms of positioning and weaponry,
and
et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
This was in March 4th,
this was March 4th, 2000. Yeah, it's a pre 9/11 episode.
Right, yeah, another pre 9/11 episode. One of the last few, right? It's only a few months before. This is one of the episodes where the 9/11 hijackers were probably watching this episode as they were making plans on what they were going to do.
Boy, I looked up facts about the. I looked up facts about the other episode, the Dumbbell Indemnity. I was looking up
Right.
facts about March 1st, 1998, because these both were the first
Oh, look
episode
at
of
that.
March, which is something that I
Yeah.
noticed.
Look at that.
And the only thing that
3 year
happened that
difference.
day of any note for March
Mm.
1st, 1998 was an Osama bin Laden factoid. And so
Oh,
it was very, so you met, the Osama bin Laden came up twice in our research for Simpsons
right.
today, which I
Wow.
think is, yeah.
Weird. Yeah, and this one, the chalkboard gag in the opening sequence is Temptation Island was
Temptation
not a
Island.
sleazy piece of crap. It's Temptation Island.
What
remember
is Temptation Island? I don't actually know the reference at all. I thought about Googling it, but then I would have
Yeah.
missed the episode because I was kind of close. What
All right.
is Temptation Island? Is it relevant
Hold on.
anymore?
Hold on. It's a reality show?
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I would like to hear what you think a
Oh, yeah.
reality show called Temptation Island would be
Well,
about.
I would assume it's like Love Island. I would assume, which is a very popular show nowadays, and I haven't seen Love Island, but I imagine the plot of
Yeah.
the show that is like the plot of the show. I also don't know is where people try to pair up and find someone romantically while also doing well, I guess no challenges would be involved in Temptation Island.
The
It would just be
temptation
sort
is
of be
the challenge.
I imagine there'd be some speed dating activities on a regular basis to sort of pair up pairs and follow around for a date and see how they pair up.
Because I've seen a couple
that
episodes
accurate?
of Love Island. My wife has been watching that, and that show, I think it's an even number of men and women or whatever, and then they pair up every week differently to try to figure out which to find love there. So they just switch up the couples every time. But Temptation Island was different. Chad, did you watch
what
it
was?
ever?
No, God, no. Why would I watch such hot garbage?
It was not sleazy piece of crap.
It's not sleazy as Bart.
It was absolutely. It was absolutely.
The sleazy can be good, but what was it about? Can you please explain me Temptation Island? I never thought I would. It would be so difficult to understand a chalkboard gag.
Yeah.
From what I've gathered, it has the same sort of gimmick where it's like, oh yeah, these hot 20-somethings are put into a paradise-like setting and encouraged to hook up with each other, and it's like they sort of get to a point where it's like they're dating each other, and then it's just like, oh, but what about this person? Do you want to fuck this person instead? How about this one? You want to fuck this one? And
so
I
very
don't know
similar.
I don't know exactly how. Hold on. Wikipedia says 4 male contestants lived in one section with a dozen female models, and 4 female contestants lived in another section with a dozen attractive men. There were initial couples, and I guess it was just like, hey, look at all the other hot people you're surrounded by. They're going to be attracted to you because you're also hot people.
Yeah, my understanding was that it was couples. You showed up as a couple, like with your girlfriend, boyfriend, or whatever, and then they were
and then they
random
the
sexy
couples.
people on the island that weren't in couples.
And the Temptation Island is there someone else you could possibly end up with
on TV?
Well, do you know how to get on how to game that system? Then you go in with a fake relationship and have the time of your life.
Yeah.
It's a green card thing. It's a Temptation Island couple.
That makes you wonder about the non-couple people there that are just there just to have sex with somebody. Like your job is just to seduce people.
Well, I've heard that MILF Island is pretty fun. Although I haven't watched it myself. That's a real name of a TV show going on right now. I saw a clip yesterday. I saw a clip.
That was a joke on 30
No, it's
it was,
and
it's also real.
It was
okay.
MILF Manor. Sorry, MILF Manor is the name of it.
So
I don't know which one is the real one and which one is the joke, but I know that there's a real one and there's a joke, and it's almost the same thing.
That's awesome.
It's the premiere just came out. So only one episode of MILF Manor has premiered. and so there'll be another episode on the 22nd. So y'all Temptation Island fans out there, you might want to check out MILF Manor because odds are if you were to Temptation Island in 1998,
Oh
or
yeah.
Your
sorry,
taste
2000,
has not
2000
improved.
yeah,
You still love
2001.
garbage.
But you're probably old enough to be MILF now, so hopefully that's your kind
Yeah.
of market. It ages up.
Yeah.
That'll be Gilf Island by 20 years from now. Gilf. What's a G word? Gilf grounds or like.
Oh yeah, the Gilf grounds, the Gilf gardens.
Gala, the Gilf Gala.
Oh no. Oh, gala. Like you're saying gallows, like that. It gets dark.
Oh no.
Oh, that's a
good,
good one.
though.
It's like, either you find someone who wants to have to sleep with you,
Right.
or we execute you.
Yeah. And I think there was some macabre elements. I don't want to jump ahead to Dumbbell Indemnity with the we gotta find 2 corpses. It's the same energy.
Yeah.
Oh man. I want to hear y'all's Duffman impression. I think I have one in my pocket. I haven't practiced it yet, but I feel like I could do one.
Yeah, I need a prompt or a situation where we.
A line that is said in the episode.
Oh.
That's usually how I do impressions to go with a line that exists already. Like,
yeah,
Duffman is thrusting in the direction of the problem. I have to recall the quote as I said it though.
Duffman is 80% Kool-Aid Man, and then 20%.
80% Kool-Aid Man, but more fuckboy.
Yeah. 80%
I believe Duffman is the same accent as Disco Stew.
It is. It's just Disco Stew with the cup after a beer bong. On creatine and beer bongs is how you get Disco Stew to Duffman. I can't think of. Give me something. What would Duffman say?
Maybe he would try and describe the differences between himself and Disco Stew.
We know Disco Stew doesn't advertise, but Duffman's whole deal is advertising.
That's yeah.
That is correct. That is his thing.
Ooh, Duffman. His name is Sid.
Yes, or his alter ego, much like Superman, is a mild-mannered reporter named something Duffman. I forgot. I should have wrote it down.
Oh, that's pretty good. I don't remember that storyline.
No, it was in this one
that
when they had the when Homer called the press conference to tell everyone about the fact the team's moving to Albuquerque, and then Duffman was there in a press hat. And he had an alias.
That's right. That's right. Yes. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes. I forgot. That's right. Duffman here. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm jumping around a little bit. Are
Yeah.
you keeping track of all the Simpsons episodes that mention Hawaii?
No, but I should because I took some.
You
screenshots
should.
of this one.
Yeah, I did. Hey,
Yeah.
stop saying Hawaii in there. Who's going to Hawaii? Am I going to Hawaii? And how what'd you think of Moe's impression of Hawaii?
We just watched Simpsons Safari last week, which also has has Homer singing gibberish to an African song, and you're like, oh no, you can do that. So doing the similar thing here, like, yeah, this joke doesn't have to be made. It's okay if we don't do.
No,
this.
it doesn't.
Yeah,
Joel Duffman.
Joel
of the
Duffman.
Newsly Times.
The Newsly Times.
Yeah. I should
Oh,
this
man.
one, the next one, but
yeah, that's the one. That's
stop saying
great.
Hawaii in there. Move you this way for these. Haha. Is that one? I think maybe that's
That would be kind of hilarious if we just popped that on screen every single time.
it.
It's Hawaii.
Yeah, I need to save this on our. I'll add it. To
Like-
our
like-
graphics.
Make a counter next to it or something.
that will go through my head now in the future when I visit the mainland for whatever reason. I went up in Hawaii, like I just imagine in my head, hey, stop saying Hawaii in there.
Yeah, screenshots from this one. Yeah, So, just since I'm already pulling stuff up, we do try to Frinky-yak favorite scenes and lines from episodes. That only goes up to season 17 because they stopped Frinky-yakking things after season 7. There's a season 20 episode next week that we won't have screenshots for. We'll have to manually make our own screenshots, like some kind of
Well, to be fair, I didn't find a single thing about Dumbbell Indemnity memorable enough to want to Frinky-yak it.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah, I
so
think
I
that's
should
it.
say at this point that I haven't
Yeah.
seen the film Double Indemnity. A friend of mine just watched
Neither
on
have I.
Letterboxd just now, which is very funny that I just saw someone watch it.
Yeah.
But I'm reading the plot description. That sounds like a lot like the plot of this episode, which I feel like was half the joke.
Yeah. This is another one of those things where everything I know about the movie Cape Fear, I learned from the Cape Fear episode of The Simpsons. And everything I know about Double Indemnity, I learned from Dumbbell Indemnity.
And there's
So
a whole
is everything that you know about The Natural going to be from Hungry Hungry Homer?
Yes, if that's what The Natural's about, then yes.
I've never heard of this thing before. The Natural? 1984 film? Interesting.
Oh, that's not the one where the guy breaks his arm and then suddenly becomes really good at.
Oh, that's Rookie
That's
of
the
the
Rookie.
Year.
That's Rookie of the Year. Okay.
Oh, Rookie of the Year, not the Rookie, right?
No,
Something else
the Rookie
too.
was good, but it was like 2 movies long for some reason.
Oh, what the Disney
And-
Plus?
Yeah. But I believe that The Natural is the one where the ending of the movie is he hits a home run and he runs around the park and the lights explode for some reason.
Oh, okay. And that's the joke I always make anytime I have to play kickball, which hasn't been 15 years probably. But it's, what do we do if I kick the ball so hard it makes all of the lights explode on the field?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Also, this is the first time that The Simpsons has done something with The Natural, because there was the time where they carved a bat.
Ah.
I don't remember which episode that was, but I know that it was a thing.
Oh, so yeah, that sounds like something I can remember. Oh, The Naturals and Stars. But yeah, so everything I know about The Natural, I have learned from The Simpsons. I'll tell you that right now. And I will post any trivia about The Natural, and I'll tell you whether or not I learned it from The Simpsons. I thought it was very funny. They drug Homer, right, when he's after he's found out about the whole team moving to Albuquerque thing.
Oh, that was a very funny misdirect.
Yes. Where they put the extra malt powder or whatever in his beer, and he goes, "Hey, is this gonna destroy my memory?" Like, no, of course not. And then he gets syringed with some other kind of drug. But then he wakes up and he's talking to Bart, and he's forgotten what happened. And he goes, "Well, you know me. Sometimes I'll be quirky. I'll be Albuquerque. That's right." That was very.
He also is sleeping off his hangover like Snoopy.
Yeah, in the doghouse.
I have no idea why that was a thing. It was a fun visual gag.
They had a doghouse there, and he had to be sleeping. So what are you gonna do?
No, the
Once
other
this episode.
Yeah.
This is totally unrelated. Go ahead, Chad.
Homer at Bat is the other episode that references The Natural that we remember because it was really good.
Is that the one with all the baseball players in it, or is that a different one?
That is the one.
Okay, that's a good one. What were you gonna say, Dan?
I have a bone to pick with the Simpsons ride in Universal. Have either of you gone to this ride before?
I have not.
No.
Just watching the beginning of this episode made me irate when my memory is of it. So I went in late 2019. I went to Universal Studios Hollywood by myself on my day layover in LA, which was pretty good. The single rider line they're pretty good. But you know what is the only ride in all of Universal that does not have a single rider line? The Simpsons ride.
Really?
So it was the only ride that entire day that I went in line for more than 10 minutes. And let me tell you, what a long line that is. What a long wait for the Simpsons ride. And on the line is so long. If you're only in line for an hour, you see the same pre-show episode they have the entire time. It's very frustrating and very repetitive and maddening. And the ride itself, I have to say, one of my least favorite rides in all of Universal.
Oh, no. Because I
It's just
assume
like
it's
one
not
of
a roller coaster, right?
No, it's one of those like almost like a soaring over situation where there's a big TV screen that all like the sort of pods are facing and sort of turned the three where you moved around, whatever. But it's so
That's kinda
like
cool.
I don't know, it's so on
Oh, yeah.
rails. It's like okay,
Right. Yeah.
yeah, the kind of stuff where you think they would give you 3D glasses, but they didn't, or if they
No.
did, I don't remember.
Right.
But it's had a bone to pick with the Universal Studios Simpsons ride, and I hope it dies. I hope it closes forever.
Yeah.
I hope no one has to.
Or at least add more content. The line watching thing. You don't want to watch.
Yeah, show other episodes that have amusement parks. Show other clips that go to amusement parks. It doesn't have to be the same lore building. Give us some meat.
Give us the Krusty Land. Give us the
what they
Lego
should
Land,
do.
Blocko. Yeah.
Is they should get rid of that completely, and then just show the Simpsons on a monorail. Like don't have it be a ride. Just have the actual monorail, an actual monorail in the park to take you to places, and just show the Simpsons on it constantly.
Yeah, that's all anybody wants to
Careful,
do.
Chad. That's how we end up with billions of dollars in debt for the biggest public works project in the U.S. history.
Yeah, but we're not going to do that in Hawaii.
Yeah.
They do so in the Hawaii that exists in Godzilla 2014.
Yeah. You can see they do have a functioning.
It destroys the monorail from the airport, which is I can't wait to ride that.
I can't wait until Godzilla actually destroys a working one.
Yeah. So Monday, August 24th, 2026 is when we are going to be covering Homer at Bat. Stay tuned for 3 more years, three and a half years.
Excellent.
Oh my God. 3 more years.
How highly was that one ranked, by the way?
Let's see.
Is that in the top 100?
Oh, it is. It's number 6, seated number
6. Wow.
Yeah. It's a good one.
That's well worth waiting 3 years.
Episode.
Yeah. So that means me and that other guy both rated it a 5, and it's an early enough episode where I think they're chronological once they get the same score. I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anything else on this one? I like that they had a pants on fire video of Homer. Like, we're not saying he's a liar, but we do have this video of him with his pants on fire. It's very funny.
There's a lot of meta in this episode. Like that's the kind of guy I am this week.
No. A good New Year's episode, I gotta say. Pretty good to watch at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Homer changes for the better, at least for the first part of the episode, right? And then
for the whole one. Episode also kind of works for that as well, because he's getting himself out there. He's dating again.
Yeah. These are good fresh start episodes.
Oh yeah, who voices Renee?
Oh,
Helen Hunt.
Yeah.
This was my pick for this episode. The spirit of Cesar Chavez. Why do you look like Cesar Romero? Because you don't know what Cesar Chavez looks like. It's like that's true. Because I was looking at this, I'm just like, is that what Cesar Chavez looks like?
Yeah, because I'm trying to think about it. I'm just picturing Che Guevara, but like in like a bigger, like a sun hat, but I don't think that's right either.
Wait, you're just imagining the picture on the t-shirts, but with the sombrero instead?
Yeah, basically. Like the kind of hat you would wear in the fields. I know that he was like a labor organizer and stuff, right? Of people that were like agricultural workers. But yeah, I don't know what he looks like. I'm just picturing other Latinx men.
I also had to Google Mike Farrell and Wayne.
Oh yeah,
Rogers.
I was going to ask you guys about that if you know what's the deal with that.
I'm on the Wikipedia right now and I'm finding out the answer. It's a deep cut MASH reference.
Oh, okay. So that thing that happens with old Simpsons is that they make
because Mike Farrell's character replaced Wayne Rogers' character in the show.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Which, very deep cut, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, because that was one I'm like, I meant to look it up, but then I never did. I'm like, So
I gotta say, go ahead.
So it's just like, when you need some inspiration over here, here's a book of Mike Farrell's core beliefs. I'm like, I don't get it. And then he opens it up and man, he really hates that other guy. And that's the whole joke. But yeah, I don't get it. But now I know.
Yeah.
MASH.
Now we get it.
Now we get it. Oh, I just realized I'm on the Wikipedias for these things. First off, Hungry Hungry Homer, fantastic Peanuts gag. Fantastic. No notes. Also didn't realize that there was a Star Wars joke in this. I didn't know that the
Oh, I
throwing
love
over the
that.
fence was the. I didn't put that together in my
They
head.
don't make a whole thing
But-
of it. He just does it
Right?
without any
Wait,
explanation.
what?
I did notice.
So when
Oh, God.
at the end when Homer's, he's done the thing with the hot dog with the Southwest ingredients and everything, and the crowd's turning against the Duff owner dude, and Homer's like, "Hey, Duff man, you have to help us. So for once in your life, stand up for the little guy." And he's torn. Duff man doesn't know what to do, but then he goes, he says something about, "What would Jesus do?" He says, "What would Jesus do?"
What would Jesus do?
And then he picks the guy up and throws him over a wall or something. But basically, just
Oh,
which is
the
the-
Vader Emperor.
Yeah,
thing.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, no, that is
And,
very subtle.
yeah.
Yeah, and I one thing that stuck out to me in that episode that I guess I'm thrown off by when watching things on Disney Plus and on syndication is the clip of "Oh Yeah" from Yellow, which was made famous by Ferris Bueller's Day Off, played in this episode, which is very jarring because I really did not remember or know that Simpsons played for this music licensing, and now I'm on the Wikipedia for Dumbbell Indemnity, and I find that there are songs listed on the Wikipedia which did not play in the Disney Plus version, unless I did not pay
Wow.
close attention to the songs. "I'm a Believer" by the Monkees
Oh, that was on there.
apparently.
I
Oh,
caught
it is?
that.
Okay, I
Yeah.
guess I wasn't paying close attention. And then Brick House played at
For
one
the
point, which I did
compilation. I
not
don't
remember
remember
that
That was
song
in
at
there.
all.
Okay.
It was? Okay, maybe I
Yeah.
didn't pay close attention to the second episode I watched that. But still, I'm not used to licensed songs be a part of a syndicated television, because usually they
Yeah.
replace the music later on because they don't want to pay for it.
Yeah.
I think that that is true in most cases, but for some reason, Disney is like, nah, you know what? We probably own this.
Yeah, and they probably
Oh, that's
do
also true.
somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what to say.
I don't have anything else on this
Yeah.
episode.
I keep jumping between the two episodes. They're meshed together in my head.
Yeah. I thought it was very
Was-
funny when they were
Okay,
at
okay.
Blocko Land.
Was
When-
the mayor of Albuquerque thing at the end? Was that a reference to anything?
I didn't get it if it was.
I don't think so. I think it's just like a fake setup for like this ominous plot that's never gonna happen.
Right. Yeah.
Mhm.
Just how it's funny that the mayor of Albuquerque would be some evil.
A stunningly close to a gag that's in Spice World. I don't know if you've ever seen this film, but
No.
Spice World came out in 1997, and in that movie, the evil character is played by a record executive who's trying to make a Spice Girls movie. And at one point, he says, "I'm gonna do this if my name isn't John F. Peterson," as if that's like a name we're supposed to know. And then like this sort of like lightning happens, like ah ha 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 ha. It's like, okay, just making fun of the fact that this villain does not exist, and all of a sudden is given this import out of nowhere. It's half the
That's
gag.
great. I haven't seen that movie, but I know Dan, you're a lover of bad movies and things, and I got a late birthday
It
present that
was
finally
actually-
came in the mail today. What's up?
Well, they were going to tell you about, but I think Spice World is a good movie. But anyway,
Okay.
go on.
I want to watch it. I have it on my list because I think someone put it on Facebook Movies.
It's pretty self-aware. It's
Wait.
pretty campy, but it knows what it is.
I need to watch it. But this is what I got in the mail today. I don't know if you can
Oh,
see
I've been looking. I'm
DVD.
wondering if
Yeah.
Ren Lazar was around, because I actually I do not own that. I didn't know it was
Yeah.
possible to own that. So that's fantastic
Yeah.
news, because that's been
The
on my
guys
watch
from,
list for a while.
Yeah, the guys from the Found Footage Festival, they're friends with him, and they've put it out on DVD now. So just go to foundfootagefestival.com.
Oh, yeah. I stopped
Or
looking
borrow
in
mine.
2018,
Mine.
so it's good
Yeah.
to know that it's out now. Ever
Yeah.
since then.
Special 35th anniversary edition with the meme gallery and sing-alongs and all kinds of stuff.
That sounds fantastic.
Oh, also, fans of the stream will know that the Mamma Mia and Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again. I found those. I got those on DVD this week. The sing-along versions, but they also have
Fantastic.
commentaries on both of them. So I'll have to let you borrow it so you can really get behind
And
the
I,
scenes.
I do have the Blu-ray for Mamma Mia 2 with
Oh,
the
okay.
commentary
Oh,
track,
okay.
so I already
You're
own
good.
that edition of which you speak. So I'm way ahead of the game on that one.
Nice.
I think I own the first one too. I forget. I don't know.
Yeah, so many DVDs now. Okay, and that's the deal with Hungry Homer.
Much better episode. I think it's if I voted right now, Hungry Homer gets my easy vote.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think there's
slam
definitely more
dunk.
stuff in there. Definitely more stuff in there that I stuck with me. I think longer than Dumbbell.
I thought
Indemnity.
Dumbbell Indemnity was the fine
Yeah.
It's fine.
waste
It's
of
good.
20 minutes.
Yeah.
Like my only actual complaint about it was the fact that what was the female character's name? The one voiced by Helen Hunt?
Renee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's not a character. She's a plot
Yeah,
device.
she's not.
Yeah, she's a prop. She's a
And
reaction.
she's barely a plot device.
Yeah. It really struck me when I was watching at the end. Like, she never says to Mo, who spent all of this money on her, like, "Oh, you don't have to spend all this money. I like you for who you are." Like, that's like such a standard.
She
thing to
implied
say
it with
in
the
this
poi in the
situation.
bathtub, but they really
Right.
should have made it more explicit.
Yeah. So that was strange. That was striking to see that, or not see that, I guess. But yeah, this is the episode where Mo, he meets it's the beautiful woman, and they start dating, and he spends too much money, so he has to get Homer to steal his car and commit insurance fraud, so that he can get $5,000 to keep spending money on his girlfriend.
As someone who has maxed out a credit card before while traveling, I fully understand.
As someone who has spent too much money on a credit card on women, I also understand.
And someone who commits insurance fraud, I understand.
That was the perfect rule of three right there.
My complaint is the Hawaii jokes, which only one good. And and then the character isn't fully fleshed out and goes away magically, and I really don't feel like the fire at the end is really also. I mean, maybe it's a reference to Double Indemnity, the film that lost on me, but I really don't think the fire. It kind of resolves in a very, I don't know, anticlimactic, even though the bar goes up in flames. I don't know what it is exactly about it.
Yeah, because I mean, Homer, he breaks out of prison by beating Hans Moleman with a dictionary or something, and then he's just out and he's free, and they don't have to deal with that. And then
Good gag with the "I'm gonna kill Mo." Whee!
Right.
I'm gonna kill Mo.
I was like, I can't stay mad at you. You get me drunk, and then everything's fine.
Yeah.
I don't. Oh, I think. Yeah. So
I do like Mo calling himself a gargoyle. That was great. That was fantastic. I think that's very accurate for how men don't think that women like gargoyles sometimes. Or like a face with characters is the way it's worded here.
Oh, yeah. Well, this is a fun thing to say.
And I forgot he was a boxer. Is that explored more in later episodes?
I know he's Homer's
when
like,
he trains Homer.
One time. Yeah.
That's the only time I remember it coming up.
I'm guessing it's a extended Rocky sort of reference. Yeah.
I think it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they fall. Yeah, it's an episode 8 or season 8 episode. So yeah, that's a year ahead of this. Yeah. So it's still fresh in everyone's mind. The Homer they fall. Yeah, not a bad episode. There's one of the jokes. There's always going to be jokes that don't age well. There's the thing where they go to the to help Mo find a date. They're going to go, but he's so ugly, so they have to go to they're going to go to the darkest bar or the darkest club in Springfield. And there's a sign outside with Apu's brother that says, "You must be this swarthy for entry." She's like, "Ugh,
oh boy,
we don't need that joke." And then you go in there, and then everybody is white, or the Simpsons equivalent of being a white person. So that joke didn't even need to be there. What was that for?
No. Yeah, it's very clearly a few seasons before. It was very clearly in the 90s.
All right, so on Wikipedia, it has Lisa the Simpson listed as episode 17.
Yes.
On Disney Plus, it has Lisa the Simpson as the 3rd episode in the season.
Oh, I wonder what the airing dates are for those. If that throws it off. But even then, it still would
Yeah,
happen
'cause-
before this one? I don't know.
Dumbbell Indemnity was March 1st, 1998. Lisa the Simpson was March 8th, 1998.
Oh, so it was after
Oh.
this. Nah.
Yeah, so
So it's
uh,
huh.
Disney Plus just put it in a weird order.
Huh. Strange. I wonder if maybe it's production number. Maybe it got produced first and just played later. I don't know. I like this of The Simpsons. Yeah. It's a good. That's because it's an episode about a character and doing stuff. Which is we still have some of that in this one. This is a lot better than the later ones. We'll see.
It could also be that, like they were produced because the fourth episode of season, according to Disney Plus, is Lisa Sachs. So they could have just been like, we shouldn't do 2 Lisa episodes in a row.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's it.
And that's why
strange,
they
though.
stuck it later in the air date.
They do
makes
the different episode with Muppet Show as well. I don't quite fully understand why they do that.
And when you talk about like the old, straight like 70s old Muppet Show.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, 'cause I mean that's definitely a time when like they keep track of which episodes were which back then. I don't even know. Like I would not know.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone else would be able to tell you. They can make it up.
Yeah.
I'm sure that there are Muppet experts out there that could tell you.
Yeah, it's gotta be.
Like Muppets is both well known and beloved enough that I guarantee you that there are multiple people that have made Loving the Muppets their entire personality.
Oh yeah,
and I'm one of them. I am
Yeah,
one of them.
nice.
So yeah, I'm firmly in that camp. I'm a Gonzo
I don't think it's
head.
your entire personalities.
Yeah, how
No,
many
you
Muppets
don't.
do you own?
I haven't let it really show yet. My love for
Yeah.
Muppets. I am. Yeah.
You done any puppeteering as a
I
theater
mean, yeah, I did Avenue
actor?
Q, and yeah.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. It's
I've done some puppeteering. I borrowed my friend's Muppet, custom sort of Henson style Muppet.
Nice.
So yeah, I'm there. I'm there for it.
I think it's fairly obvious based on how much time we've spent talking about anything except for this episode.
Yeah.
How much we enjoyed it.
Yeah,
it had a
I think-
recycled couch gag. It's the first time that we've seen a repeat since we started doing this show.
Oh, there's a repeat.
It did not take that long. Yeah.
Mhm.
This
Yeah,
was
it's
one where they
the,
crushed into a cube.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is not. It's not that funny, even. You know.
Yeah. What it was this? I was trying to remember. Yeah, I think it was the one where Smithers quits or something, and Homer becomes. We're going to talk about other episodes of The Simpsons because this isn't a great episode. Homer becomes the Smithers for Mr. Burns, and he's one of his jobs is he's got to take the messages from Mr. Burns and give him his messages, and he's like, "Well, here you got a bunch of messages for him," and it's like, "Okay, so you have to your car is parked in a no parking zone. You have 10 minutes to move your car. Your car's been impounded." And then car's been crushed into a cube. You have 10 minutes to move your cube. Which is not a great way of delivering that whole bit. And that's what I'm thinking of whenever I think of things being crushed into a cube.
Oh, here's some trivia behind the scenes that'll interest you.
We're gonna roll out on that tonight. Yeah.
Okay.
Helen Hunt and Hank Azaria were dating at the time of this episode.
Oh.
And they even married after that.
Wow.
And then they divorced about a year after that.
There you go.
Oh, okay.
So he was her actual like Hank Azaria and Helen were legitimately like an item, which is probably why they interesting.
Yeah. They didn't meet on the set of The Simpsons. I don't think people meet each other in Simpsons.
No, they were dating. I think before this.
Oh, okay.
During the making of it, they were married. They were dating.
Ah, that's why. That's how they got her.
And the name of the character was named after the the writer's wife. Ron Howard was the guy who wrote it, and he said he wrote it thinking that it should be some kind of crime. He wrote it around a crime, and I wanted to name it Mutual of Momaha. which is a parody of Mutual of Omaha Insurance Company.
Right.
Which is, I think, not a bad name.
Yeah.
That's not bad,
Because
but I feel like
Dumbbell doesn't come together.
Omaha
Right.
would have been better.
Yeah. I think a
Yeah,
Mo
Omaha.
pun would have been way better than the one we got, which is Dumbbell, which had nothing to do with
Yeah.
it. And just,
Yeah, there's not even like a gym scene where Homer's just like, yeah, if you feel bad about your looks, you should work out.
Yeah. Because I think that's the first thing people do when they're like, "Oh, I need to get back into the dating scene," and they also go, "Oh, I'm going to start working out." Or whatever.
maybe it should have been like
Go hand in hand.
Double Beer Indemnity, or I don't know, Duff
Yeah.
Beer Indemnity. Like, I feel like they
Oh,
could have
yeah.
made a better pun that would have either involved the bar or dating or
Right.
Mo.
Yeah. Double shot. Indemnity, something. Double rum. Something.
Yeah.
I do like when they were at the fancy restaurant, and Mo goes, "Okay, bring me your finest food stuffed with your second finest food." He goes, "Very well, sir. Lobster stuffed with tacos." The kind of restaurant I want to go to.
A lobster head with a little sombrero on it.
Nice.
I'm not a fan of lobster, but I would be more tempted to eat it if they came with funny hats.
Yeah. They should make use of that. Yeah, because you have the whole body there. You can do all kinds of stuff. Have fun. So we're fans of and all of the fake books and the fake movies and things that they have on The Simpsons. And in this one, Homer goes to see a movie called Hail to the Chimp.
Hail to the Chimp. Fantastic name. Fantastic film. I want to watch it in full. And I have to say, I've never related to Homer more than when he was on his way to something important. It was like, I can fit in a movie. It's just my entire personality is fitting in movies. I've seen more movies than there are days so far in the year, and I didn't even plan. I even told myself not to watch that many movies this year, but I can fit one in. In fact, after this, I'm going to watch 1 or 2 films. You
got a Regal Unlimited.
Regal Unlimited, and I'm part of a. I just got assigned at least 10 movies to watch over the next 7 days as part of this game online with these online people I talk movies with. So I've got a long week ahead of me, and then immediately the day after that ends is when Sundance begins, and I bought 15 movie tickets for that over a period of just 5 days. So I have a problem, and I understand Homer having a problem as well.
And if a movie, one of those movies was about a chimp president, it would definitely be right at the top of your list, I'm sure.
I mean, it sounds almost like there's multiple chimp movies that immediately come to mind, like MXP, which is Most Extreme Primate, which is the third installment in the series, where it starts with MVP, Most Valuable Primate.
I know MVP.
Where he plays hockey, and then MVP 2, Most Vertical Primate, is when he plays when he skates. And the
I thought it was
a double for him was Wee Man. Jason, whatever his late name is, wore a suit and pretended to be a monkey for that movie.
Wow.
And then there's Spy Mate, which is like a James Bond primate kind of situation as well, which I think Spy Mate is pretty close to the spirit of this. By the way, Hail to the Chimp came first. Oh, maybe it's inspired by Air Bud.
Oh yeah.
Or any other monkey movie.
If there's the line in the movie, there's nothing in the rule that says the monkey can't be president, then it's directly inspired by Air Bud.
Yeah.
I think there was definitely
jumps out of Air Force One at the end, which is definitely an Air Force One reference. I think there's.
I haven't seen the movie yet.
An animal being the thing. Yeah.
I think. Is it strange I haven't seen the movie yet?
Air Force
One? Yeah, I think I have it on DVD. Oh,
it's not like an all-time classic movie, but it's good.
Yeah. It's the opposite of the movie Plane that's out right now, in which what's it? Gerard Butler has to save all the passengers off his plane.
That's a movie which I had a ticket to see, and then I asked myself, do I have a problem? Do I need to see this film? And the answer was yes and then no.
You don't watch Gerard Butler.
My ticket. Right? Gerard Butler has been in maybe 2 good movies in his entire career.
That's fair.
I don't know an actor who is more of a mark of a bad movie than Gerard Butler. I don't think there is a more guaranteed a bad time than Gerard Butler billing.
What are the 2 movies?
Yeah.
I was
Just giving him the benefit
ballparking
of the
what I
doubt.
thought. Let me
You haven't
look
seen
right
all of them.
now
One.
on Letterboxd. How to
Yeah.
Train Your Dragon 1 and
Oh,
300
okay.
Oh, yeah.
are
Mhm.
2 films he's in. He's also
I
in
enjoyed
multiple
both
How to
of
Train Your Dragon
those.
movies, but again,
Okay.
he's voice acting. I don't think it counts for
Yeah, I don't
headlining
count
it. So
that.
300,
Yeah.
I think 300 counts.
I didn't even know he was
Mhm.
in those movies. So you just said it.
He was in
He's
Phantom
the
of the
dad.
Opera, which is his best acting, but still not a good film.
Okay.
Mhm.
He's in quite a lot, and I've seen a surprising amount of them, and
Alright.
none of them are that good. He was
Yeah, he
in
was
the
in the
Tomb Raider sequel. He was in Den
Hmm.
of Thieves, The Bounty Hunter, Movie 43, Geostorm,
You don't like
Olympus
movie
Has
43?
Fallen.
Yeah, all the Has Fallen movies.
Mhm.
Oh, he was in Reign of
Good.
Fire, which I've heard is good. I've heard Reign
Oh,
of
that's
Fire
another
is
movie I
good.
need to watch. That's
I would like to
sounds like
watch that
fun.
movie because I've heard good things about it, but I never have. Um, Law-Abiding Citizen.
Oh,
How
it's like a
about
Death
that
Wish
one?
kind of thing.
Is that I haven't seen it, but is it good or is it good for a Gerard Butler film?
Oh, now that you've phrased it that way, it is good for a Gerard Butler film.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. There's a different metric for Gerard Butler filmography than for any other filmography.
I was gonna say I like Gamer, but that's definitely a movie that you have to be
Because
on board for.
he's above Steven Seagal,
Oh yeah.
right? But I think he's still below Jean-Claude Van Damme, which is not a
Hmm.
place you want to be.
Jean-Claude Van Damme emotes more realistically than Gerard Butler,
Yeah.
which is
Exactly, but
sad
that's
thing
where
to say.
he falls. He's below Jean-Claude Van Damme, which is
Right.
pretty low on the totem pole. I don't know if there's a better word for that now. Of action
Yeah.
movie stars.
The vertical Mount Rushmore, I guess, whatever that's called.
There we go.
Yeah.
Vertical Rushmore sounds like a genital thing.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what you're doing with your genitals to do the vertical Rushmore,
Right.
but it sounds like a euphemism.
Yeah. Definitely a thing. But just to get back to Air Force One real quick, I want to say that the one of the famous lines from Air Force One is the president saying, "Get off my plane," as he punches a terrorist and throws him off of Air Force One. And the movie Plane is about Gerard Butler telling people, "Get on my plane." So that's all I wanted to say about that.
That's the plot. That's
Yeah.
very funny.
They have all been taken by terrorists. We have to get it back.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I did not see that film. I decided to see a bunch of foreign language films instead this past week in theaters because
That's at the other end of the spectrum, but probably a better.
I saw three of the shortlisted international features of the Oscars in theaters in Hawaii this week.
Cool.
Corsage, Saint Omer, and Holy Spider, which all sound pretentious, and they all were.
I was thinking about going to see Corsage. My wife was like, "I'm not in the mood."
Corsage, I recommend against it. It was interesting, but it's like the kind of movie you can sleep during and still get the gist of it, which I don't think is generally a good time.
Yeah.
It's also only showing at noon every day at Kahala, which is not an opportune time to see a film.
It's a good lunch movie.
Mhm.
You do on your lunch break. Watch a German something.
Yeah, I can fit in a movie.
Period drama. And there you go. Get off history. I think the Simpsons they predicted Nope kind of in this way, I guess.
I like the Back to the Future reference there, which it isn't a reference to because it came up before the Planet of the Apes remake by Tim Burton, which had, as we all know, ended with an Abraham Lincoln, so to say. This predates that.
Yeah, I like the monkey George Washington. That. Something else I had in my notes. What was it? Oh, I love that when Homer was in prison, like the ticking clock for there isn't him like getting executed or anything. It's that at 3 o'clock they're gonna make us go to the exercise yard. And that's Homer's greatest fear.
And we're gonna put you in the chair. Yeah. Oh, the interrogation chair. Oh, plug it in.
When I do love when he's in his jail cell, and then the guard's like, "Homer Simpson, you got visitors," and then his family shows up and says, "Hey, shut up. I heard that I've got visitors."
Okay, that's a pretty good gag. And I did just come up with the connecting the Venn diagram between these episodes. You know what the Venn diagram is?
What is that?
Homer Simpson locked up.
Oh yeah, it's in chains. Homer in chains.
Mm-hmm. And also, and trying to do the right thing, but getting ridiculed for it.
Good. Yeah, we
Homer
gotta
and
figure that
James
out for
would
that
be
one.
a fun 90s cover band name.
Oh yeah. I wonder if it's even. It could be. There's been so many episodes of The Simpsons. Anything with the word that's a character's name in it could be a name of an episode. It's not though. But when you think of the Stonecutters episode, that you got a Homer and Chains again for that. See that?
Homer and Chains. It's my Alice in Chains cover band is called Homer and Chains.
Mhm.
You open for the Ned Flanders metal band. That's cool. That doesn't
Millhouse
know.
of Blues.
matter.
That sounds like it should already be an episode.
Yeah. Is that anything?
Stuck between a Hard Rock Cafe, which I think also is a joke in there somewhere.
Okay, so our votes, I think, were pretty unanimously. We're voting for
Unanimous. There's no question about
Hungry
it.
Hungry Homer. That's also the vote from the Simpsons, the r/Simpsons Discord. 3-2. Hungry Hungry Homer wins.
Mm-hmm. Oakley Dokley is the name of
That's
the
it.
Flanders band.
Yeah. That's something we have to check out on a bonus episode one day or something. Do you want to watch Spy Mate? That's on my list now. It's on free on the Roku channel if you want to watch Spy Mate, the movie about the monkey.
Monkey James Bond.
Monkey James Bond. And it's got Emma Roberts. Oh, big fan of Emma Roberts.
Yes, and Richard Kind.
Oh, nice.
And Barry Bostwick plays the president.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, and Deborah Jo Rupp, the mom from the '70s show, and Pat Morita. Man, we gotta be.
Yeah,
why
it's a
isn't
pretty
everybody
good
watching
cast
this
for a
one?
movie. It's the poster. Can you bring up the poster from the Wikipedia?
Yeah.
Can you please show the poster real quick? Because I think this poster is it's life changing.
Well, I see one poster. It's just a
iconic.
monkey and a little girl.
And it's by the director of a lot of Air Bud's films and also the MVP series. So it's all lining up there. Oh, looks like Air Bud came out in '97, and Air Bud 2 came out in '98. So this lines up actually with the timing of this episode.
Young Emma Roberts.
Yeah.
This one, no, that. Or he's got the most '90s sunglasses on, right? And then his ID just says agent. Yeah, Airbud Entertainment, which is its own company, presents Spy Meat. And he's holding a banana like a gun. And he's got a badge and everything. Very cool. So yeah, watching that this week. Yeah. I like the Venn diagram thing as a bit to do on the show. We're going to start incorporating that to figure out what the commonalities is between every episode. But next week is I just watched the episodes for next week. But yeah, doesn't he have any other thoughts about these two episodes while I pull up next week?
Not particularly.
Yeah. Next week is Bart the Murderer from season 3, which one of our earliest episodes we're going to be watching, and The Birds and the Bees from season 20.
Ooh, season 20. That is a long time after I gave up on watching this show.
Yeah, me too. Not gonna watch this one.
What year was season 20 of The Simpsons coming out?
I think it was 2008, I want to say. Nice picture for next week. Bart the Murderer. Bart, no, not your chair. And Mr. Burns hanging out with Jeff Bezos and what's his name that owns the basketball team?
I wonder which episode is going to win.
Episode.
I wonder which one is the better episode. Here's an upset, but I doubt it. I remember the Bart the Murder episode. I remember it being very good.
Yeah.
Mark Cuban.
Forget that. Yeah, Mark Cuban. That's Mark Cuban there, who gets way too much screen time in the.
I think that Mark Cuban appearing in things as himself is one of the most annoying things.
On a list of annoying things about the guy, it's up
because Elon Musk is more annoying, but at least when he's in something that you understand why he's in it. Versus Mark Cuban, there's really no because Elon Musk wants to seem cool and hip and everything, and I guess Mark Cuban's
desperate for people to like him.
Yeah, they got the same thing, but Mark Cuban is more obscure for some reason. I don't know what it is. I don't know what he is
Yeah.
more. Man,
He doesn't have a legion of weirdos on the internet that worship him.
yeah, I don't know any Mark Cuban stands. Like, and that's the thing where I'm like, okay, well, what was the point of all your appearances
Yeah.
when you're basically
It's
just a
like you
hedge
like
fund
them
manager?
enough, like you like his hijinks enough, but not enough to like build your life around it.
Yeah, it's like, oh, Shark Tank. I guess that's a cool show. Oh,
Yeah.
you're offering people super cheap prescription medicine. Guess that's fine. You didn't launch any cars into space via giant catapult.
I,
Yeah,
for
that
one,
kind of
think
seems
that
fun.
more billionaires should try to seek out validation through means that aren't appearing in movies and TV shows, but instead,
Yeah.
giving away their wealth to health things, that kind of
Mhm.
idea,
Yeah.
or
Yeah,
paying
yeah.
their
This
workers
Yeah. I
better
think
so they would be as
we would
rich.
like it better. Yeah.
discounting goods is my favorite way for billionaires to buy my affection.
Yeah. So we're not going to cover the Elon Musk episode of The Simpsons from season 26 until I guess 2035 or something.
Wait, how many seasons are we doing?
23. So this won't be until the second bracket.
Ah, okay. Hopefully, I'll
Yeah.
be dead by then.
Either Elon Musk will be dead or president by then.
Mm.
President of Mars, hopefully.
Yeah. He'll be Emperor of Mars.
Hmm.
Yeah. So yeah. Wait, where to go? On the bracket. Hungry Homer moves on. So we will see them in another 255 weeks against Bart Starr. That'll be fun.
Roughly 5 years
5
until
years.
we have to watch
Yeah.
this again.
Yeah.
But it's already an episode that we said we liked.
Yeah. It's not bad.
We have not gotten anything yet where we've had to choose between two episodes that we've disliked.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
These
I
are
don't look
two,
forward
like,
to that.
middling episodes.
Mhm.
Yeah. I think hopefully the seating makes it so we don't have to do that too many
So with the
times.
bracketing, I didn't ask
yeah.
this,
Hmm.
but then you have to watch the episodes again, or you just vote based on your memory?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
we're gonna
we'll watch it
'cause-
again because it'll be in 5 years.
Yeah, it'll be in 5 years. It'll be at the end, at the very end. It'll be just a couple weeks between them, but by then, it'll be the best episodes of The Simpsons ever, so it won't be a big deal.
Mhm.
Oh, okay, and there's fewer at that point as well, so it speeds up
Yeah.
a little bit.
So it's like by the time that we find the winner, we're gonna have watched it like 7 times. I want
Which
to say,
I think
but
is a good. I think it's a really good metric, though. Is like how much do I want to rewatch this episode will be a factor
yeah.
later on for deciding what's better. Like which one's the better episode, the one I want to watch again, right? Because
Mhm.
Yeah.
that's the ill favorite.
yeah, that
That's
might
gonna happen
actually
on
be
our
the thing
week.
that like when we get to like the quarterfinals, it's gonna be like I don't want to see this anymore.
Yeah.
Like this episode
hard
was
pressed
good the
to- yeah.
first 15 years of this podcast, but I'm done with it.
By then you'll be like, I have to get to Gilf Gallows.
Yeah, 'cause altogether there's 9 rounds of this, so we're gonna watch the winner 9 times. But I feel like whatever the winning episode is,
9
I've already seen 9
times.
times at least.
Mhm.
Well, the second
Not a
place
big
you
deal
also have
watching
seen
them all.
9 times as well. And
Yeah.
third place you'll have seen 8 times.
So yeah, the whole top 10, I feel like I can keep watching once a week and I'll be all right.
Yeah.
Okay. So
There is a site called Serialized, which is like Letterboxd for TV. You might want to look into it to keep track of your
Oh.
Simpsons ratings.
yeah.
Well, I guess the
that's
Google Doc
good.
will also be handy, but
Right. But whatever it is, we need to start doing something now and not wait for this to get too much longer.
exactly.
Yeah, well, we've only done like 6 episodes. That's
Yeah.
the time to start.
Yeah, check out
Yeah.
Serialized. It's pretty good. I would just start using it as a diary more than trying to go
Right.
back and rate other TV shows you've seen before.
Yeah.
And you easily keep track of watch lists as well for figuring out which episodes are next and having a good visual for it. I don't know. Check out
Yeah.
Serialized.
It'll
It's
be a
pretty
good,
good. I gotta get back on there and start logging TV more sincerely.
nice. You are on Letterboxd. You're a very active Letterboxd user.
Yes, haiku reviews on Letterboxd, and this year in 2023, I've started to also write long form reviews after my haikus. So
I saw that or something.
my gimmick has weight to it now and has merit in long form. So I'm very proud of my long
That's a
form
good one.
reviews.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wrote one for Corsage if you would like to read my
Oh,
thoughts
okay.
before deciding to see it. Yeah.
Something I know I just read one of yours. I can't remember what it was. That's fine. It was good. It's good.
Yeah.
Check him out. Check him out. Haiku Dan on Letterboxd.
And I just rewatched Banshees of Inisherin, which is my recommendation of the day because I just my
It was
third
the
watch of it.
Is that
Bodies
the
is
one
great.
with Colin Farrell?
Yeah.
Colin Farrell and Brendan Gleeson, Barry Keoghan, and Kerry Condon, who they're all incredible. Yeah, this is my third time watching. I bumped up to 5 stars, which I only give in my entire time. I give under 60 films I've ever seen 5 stars. It used to be 50, and then I extended it because I saw too many films, and I was like, okay, I gotta extend a little bit here. And the whole thing is just like you have the do I want to watch this again for your Simpsons for just deciding as later on. My thing for 5 stars is could I list it as one of my favorite movies of all time? Like could I list it in my top 4 at any time? Because my thing is now is my top 4 Letterboxd are the most recent 5-star films I've watched. So now when I'm deciding something that's gonna be 5 stars, I'm gonna have to stick to it being in my profile until I knock it out of the way.
Yeah. And you can only have those 60, so it's got to take the spot of something that you've already
exactly. Like I knocked off Little Woman with this, so and I knocked off then I knocked off what you call it, Mamma Mia 2 with Grizzly Man. Grizzly Man was so good. I was like, yeah, get that out of here. Yeah. So Banshees of Inisherin is my recommendation of the day. It's on HBO Max. It's a brilliant dark comedy. If you like In Bruges, it's the same sort of like tonal whiplash between comedy and tragedy in all the best ways, and it's about a friend breakup.
Movie.
Yeah, I like
yeah. This is the whole concept of this. Is one day Colin Farrell's character goes to hang out with his friend. His friend doesn't want to talk to him anymore. He says, "I don't want to be friends with you anymore. You're boring." That's the plot. And then it goes from there. That's the setup. That's the inciting incident. It's fantastic.
Right. Very good.
Now I want to watch this movie. I just don't want to pay HBO money.
Well, you don't. You don't have HBO Max? Oh man.
No, I actually canceled it once Zaslav took over and started just axing things. But I guarantee that I know people who will be willing to let me use their password.
Yeah. I mean, I may allegedly be using a password for something else, so I should probably return the favor. But yeah, what was I going to say? Something. I forget.
Thank you, Dad.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Cool.
To talk about Simpsons episodes despite not seeing many and reminiscing about Legoland. Now it's better than Blocko.
Yeah.
And I like that Bart Simpson says, "Oh man, this Lego shirt sucks." You mean Blockos? Oh yeah,
right? Yes, Blocko.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen that joke a few times on The Simpsons or anything else. But here's that move your cube joke that I tried to tell earlier. So we're right on that. We'll see everybody next week for Bart the Murderer versus Burns and the Bees. The Burns and the Bees. Thank you once again, Dan, for being here. Chad, is there anything else you want to say to the internet before I hit play and say goodnight?
Touch grass.
Yeah, please, everybody, go outside. I know it's very cold in many parts of the country, but go outside anyways. You won't regret it. But good night, everybody.
Twitter's bad for your mental health.
You have 30 minutes to move your car. You have 10 minutes. Your car has been impounded. Your car has been crushed into a